participants, tighten up your seatbelts as we are about to land at the final destination. Before that, we'd like to quote something. A woman is the full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and transform.
At the rare end, we have with us a US Air Force veteran on board of the flight of Inspiro 2020, and she will route us the path of women empowerment, expansion in leadership.
Well, 2020 has been full of vulnerable moments for all of us, but she has found a way to tackle and find strength in these moments as well. She admits that not everything goes as planned or has gone as planned. In her life as well, she has faced some massive problems.
But a commitment to growth, to teamwork, and to family is one of the secrets to her strength. And those problems that appear massive tend to be speed bumps as she navigates through her days with confidence.
So buckle up to hear from the CEO of Century Military Alliance and the President of Victory Trades Alliance, Ms. Chaunte Hall.
Hello and good evening, good morning to wherever everyone is. Thank you so much for having me today.
Without any further ado, I would request ma'am to address us on women in leadership, expanding the part through empowerment.
Thank you very much. So thank you all for attending today and for giving your support, especially for women empowerment. So Inspiro 2020, thank you and welcome. This year's theme is shaping stories, sharing stories and shaping minds. Sharing stories and shaping minds. As we think about the third year of this event, we think about harmony, wisdom, and understanding. Through a global pandemic, we have witnessed the harmony. We have witnessed the coming together on a global scale. Through pandemic, through trials, through tribulations, we've all been able to come together through technology. From the comfort of our own homes, we've been able to share wisdom and to join hand in hand in understanding where each of us are. Women in leadership, expanding the path through empowerment. Globally, we have 750 million women and girls that are married before the age of 18. We have more than 100 countries that have taken action to track budget allocations for gender equality. While women have made important inroads into political offices across the world, their representation in national parliaments are 23.7%. Mandel wrote that female empowerment could be defined in 5 categories: social, educational, economic, political, and psychological. Enhancing the use of enabling technology, in particular information and communications technology, to promote the empowerment of women. We're able to witness today, through technology, the coming together, again, globally. And so any time in life when we look to share our stories, how do our stories each represent one another? How do we have the wisdom and the understanding? How do we bridge and bring in harmony? As was shared, I am a United States Air Force veteran. While serving in the military, while living in America, I believe that women empowerment starts in the home. How am I raising my children? As you heard, family means everything to me. And so women empowerment starts in the home. How are we treating one another? How am I raising my son to speak and to treat women? What is he seeing his mother accomplish? How am I raising my daughter to be strong, to have a voice, to feel empowered, to feel that she has a path, to feel that she has a future? Safety. Are we ensuring that the women in our homes feel safe? And so as I share this today, I'm truly honored to know that men and women across the globe have joined us. You see, these conversations are extremely important for all of us to have together to ensure that we can expand the path through empowerment. We have to join hand in hand and ask ourselves the hard questions of how we're treating one another. Are we allowing these opportunities for women? Are we supporting and ensuring that there are no longer gender pay gaps? Mentorship has to be number one. And so as we're striving to look and to progress, it's sad, and there's fear factors that COVID-19, this pandemic, has actually hindered success for women. Why is that? What are we facing due to the pandemic? Statistics will show now that women are trying to, whether it's taking care of their homes, whether they now have children that they have to teach. There are many different factors that have played due to this pandemic. How do we step up, join hand in hand, and continue to strive and expand that path? What are our options? What opportunities are presenting themselves for women across the globe? Mentorship has to come from both angles. We need men mentors, we need women mentors. We need to come together and to communicate and to have this open dialogue and to be able to support one another as we grow and we look to progress. We look past this pandemic and realize that now on a global scale, we can come together. When one seeks a mentor, we must consider, again, to have both male and female to assist in providing insight and advice. When we blend and we merge the different perspectives, we can provide a great deal of insight as to the culture of an organization, of an industry, and we can sustain balance. If we look at different industries, which is what we have shared during this entire conference, many different industries have come together. What are the strategic plans? What are the top 3 to 5 organizations in a specific industry that are looking to hire, to retain, to support, and to empower women? Do we have a roadmap? Are there directions of where the organization or the industry is striving to go? Looking at these plans and looking at how women have been treated in the past with an organization will empower us, will support us as we join hand in hand to support and advance our mission. We must volunteer to explore opportunities. We must come together and present ourselves the opportunity to mentor another. If we have learned anything the past 9 months, it is that we are a global society, and how we interact absolutely impacts the globe. To empower another means that we professionally and intentionally give of ourselves. And it's with the intention of helping another advance. Whether it's professional growth and understanding, ultimately in empowering women, we empower humanity. May we not allow COVID-19 to reverse the progress on gender equality and women's rights. Regardless of where we live, gender equality is a fundamental human right. And now I share this as I look again within my own home. As a United States Air Force veteran, I faced many trials and tribulations. And I love what was shared prior to the show, that I have been able to keep moving forward due to the fact that I was empowered, due to the fact that I had a support structure behind me. Now, it hasn't always been easy, but I make a conscious choice. I make an effort to keep moving forward so that I can bring another with me, so that I can lift the hand of another woman and tell her, it will be okay. You can do this too. There is much that we face in striving and stepping up to have these pathways to advance within society. How do we overcome some of the challenges that we face as women? I believe that we must address safety. Safety in our homes, and safety as we look at career paths. Oftentimes, we negate or we hide behind truthful factors. There are places that I would not want to go due to safety. There are jobs that I would not want to take due to safety. And so we must ask ourselves, men and women that have joined today, are we ensuring the safety of one another? Are we making sure that to be able to advance a woman in her career, to be able to afford a woman an opportunity, that she is going to feel safe? Safety empowers. In the military, there were many times where I did not feel safe. And now as CEO of an organization, there are times where I travel and I may not feel safe. That absolutely limits my ability to perform, to share, to uplift another, to support another in their career. How are we ensuring the safety of our women across the globe? And again, it starts with our homes. Each of us must ask ourselves, how are we treating the women in our homes? Are we supporting their careers? I find it interesting that 750 million women and girls are married before the age of 18. We must address health and safety as we're witnessing from a global pandemic. We must address divorce, negative statistics. What happens to those women if they haven't been empowered to provide for their families? These are real conversations that must be had not only in the home, but now carried across the globe. And due to technology, we have the opportunity to do just that. Now, when I look at career paths in academia, I have an MPA with an emphasis in government and policy. I am an executive career coach and a human resource professional, and finishing a doctorate. What does that mean for the globe? Can I articulate who I am? Can I walk into an organization and let them know what I can do starting today? What do I bring to bear? When we read job descriptions and we look at the employment opportunities available today, are we capable of leveraging who we are and getting these opportunities? What does our social media look like? Are we sharing on social media that we have the bandwidth, that our education, our level of academia speaks to the job descriptions? As we expand the path through empowerment, we must empower one another to meet the needs on a global scale. Employment opportunities, again, we have all witnessed due to this pandemic, we have become truly connected globally. There's power in being connected globally. Now, how are we going to step up and meet these needs, meet these demands? I would share both men and women must start to address the available employment opportunities and look at ensuring we all have the credentials needed to meet future demands. We look at, from a technology aspect, positions, jobs, learning very, very fast. Many of us have been able, again, to connect globally because we were able to log in to the internet, learn new platforms, and meet globally, meet societal needs. We must ensure our women are afforded opportunities within each prospective industry, that those safety concerns are being met, the health concerns are being met. Organizationally, it is October as well, and it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Are we ensuring that our women, as they come into our organizations, feel safe, feel comfortable, and are able to do their job? I look forward to seeing the questions. I truly hope that from both men and women, we start to have these conversations that are relevant and allow us to empower our women on a global scale. No matter where we are we supporting one another to ensure success? My success allows for the success of another. My success allows for me to not only take care of my children, but to take care of my organization at large, and then to come on and to take care of others. As you heard at the beginning, with the brief bio, they noticed that I've been successful because I had someone lifting me up. My family supported me. And so now I would ask each of you, on a global scale again, how are we ensuring that we are empowering one another? What do your organizations look like? What career opportunities are you looking to advance in? We have to take this moment. And women, I would encourage you It's not always going to be easy. But we must step up. We must address some of these hard topics. And we must start to speak out openly in the workplace to impact change. If we don't have these discussions, we can't grow. And so it starts in the home and it continues to trickle out, because what happens in my home is now being shared with all of you. And so as we look to, again, continue and think about female empowerment from a social, educational, economic, political, and psychological means, how are we progressing within each category? This evening, I ask that as we create and we look at striving for not only building upon, but sustaining professional balance. This evening, this morning, wherever you are across the globe, may we not allow COVID-19 to reverse the progress on gender equality and women's rights. And remember that each step forward allows for you to take the hand of another. Each step forward allows us to progress. It starts with us this evening, this morning, joining arm in arm and striving to bridge that gap, to ensure that our educational needs, our social, our economic, our psychology, all of these needs are coming together and we can progress within our respective industries. Are we afforded the opportunities for growth within each industry that we are working in? And so I want to leave time today to truly have an engaging conversation, to start the dialogue so we can take this and continue to share, hopefully on LinkedIn, continue to have the hard conversations, to ask the questions that maybe you didn't feel comfortable to ask before. They need to be asked. We must know how we can continue progress. And if we're not communicating effectively and having honest conversations, then that growth will not take place. So today, I thank you. I look forward to some of the comments and addressing the questions. And this evening, I will push pause right now, and I will wait until the comments and the questions are shared. I thank you all so much for joining. I'm truly humbled and honored that we get to meet on a global scale, that we get to come together to impact change, to share stories, to shape minds, is a continuous journey, and one that I look forward to meeting with each of you on. So thank you for your time, and thank you for ensuring that we again could come together globally to have this conversation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Our
ma'am.
viewers have been pouring in a lot of questions during this session. Let's start with the question and answer session. So the first question is from Vatsal Parekh. Do we really need feminism movement to uplift women, or it's just a matter of self-realization that people will recognize the status of women?
Okay, I see. Do we really need feminism movement to uplift women, or is it just a matter of... that is a great question. Do we really need a feminism movement to uplift women, or it's just a matter of self-realization that people will recognize the status of women? I have been asked many times if I was a feminist. And so this is a great question. I believe in women empowerment. I believe in uplifting women. I believe in men empowerment. I believe in uplifting men. You see, it's very important, and I think it's such an impactful question. It's very insightful. We have to come together. We must join in arm in arm. It's not about a movement, but it truly is about self-realization and sharing that realization with others. I know who I am. We must be so grounded. We must know the core of who we are so that no one shakes us. I'm confident in who I am. I'm raising 2 confident children. I often say I'm raising lions and not cubs. I'm raising warriors. I'm raising strong children that show love and respect to all across the globe. I believe that if we are truly, when it comes to self-realization, if we know who we are, if we love ourselves, we can love and show respect to others. It's the essence of humanity. And so it's not about a feminist movement. It's about humanity. It's about looking in the face of another and wanting them to succeed. It's about looking outside of your window and lifting up someone else so they have success. You see, if we join and we start to have these conversations and we understand the needs of one another, we will impact change. Impacting change starts with self-realization. It starts in the home, and then it spews out. It comes out. And what you realize for you will absolutely impact another. And so I ask both men and women, I ask all across the globe to support each other. What happens, and I know it's been shared that I was a single mother. What happens if I don't have the education needed? What happens if I'm not supported for employment? What would happen to my children? And so it's not about a feminist movement. It's about affording opportunities on a global scale. It's about expanding our pathways. And yes, it starts with self-realization. Thank you so much for that question. That was very, very good. Thank you.
Surely, ma'am. We think our viewers' question has been answered thoroughly. So here's the next question. Tech giants like Google, Amazon this year hired only females as freshers. And many people were against that, even some women too. Your opinion on this?
So, okay. So tech giants like Google, Amazon this year hired only females. And many people were against that, even some women too. You know, gender equality is a fundamental human right. Do we have equality if we're trying to meet a metric? Are all things equal if we're trying to meet numbers? And so, no, I don't think that's okay. I absolutely think that that's wrong. I think that if one possesses the skills needed for a job, and they can get the job due to their skill sets, due to their ability to speak their skill sets, to articulate their value, then they should get the job. We go backwards when we look to meet a metric or meet a goal. It should not be about metrics, but it should be about possessing the prerequisite skill sets and the ability to bring those skill sets to an organization. Great question.
Our third question is from Vaibhav Korti. Were women considered inferior from the start of the civilization?
Very interesting. I, you know, this would obviously start with one's beliefs and where they come from. This is a question that it's so beautiful that we get to come together on a global scale. And so we all have different beliefs, different religions, different philosophies. I believe that we were created, however you believe that we were created, I believe that we were meant to be a perfect blend, that we were created to support one another. When I look at history, no matter what philosophy or religion or belief, I believe that together we are stronger. I believe that we complement one another. I believe that the natures of women, the natural inclinations, naturally, and studies show, whether it's psychologically or from a social standpoint, we're caregivers. We may be perceived as being more loving, more gentle in approach. These qualities of women make the world beautiful. These qualities that are in men make the world beautiful. And there's so much talk when it comes to gender equality that does not mean, again, that it's coming from the feminist movement. We must look at each of us, as was said earlier, it starts with self-realization, and strive to be who we truly are. Know yourself so well that nothing can shake who you are. Everything that I have faced in life, every bad situation, trying to advance professionally, trying to make sure that my children are taken care of, I know who I am. I know that I represent love and respect. So whether we believe that women are or were created or it was inferior, we must look at one another and say, no matter past beliefs, no matter where we come from on the globe, we have to empower and uplift one another on this journey. We need to lift our women. We need to lift our men. You see, I can't raise my daughter to be strong and not raise my son to be strong. I need to raise them both and empower them both to be the best versions of themselves. And so no matter where we come from, today we have an opportunity to look at men and women. And when it comes to career paths, do they meet the job descriptions? Yes or no? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So the next question lined up is, when women already position themselves in society, why are we always talking of women empowerment?
Well, that's a great question. Doctor, women have positioned themselves in society. We talk about women empowerment due to the statistics. We talk about women empowerment because on a global scale, we still have a lack of understanding. We still need to ensure that there is progress on gender equality and women's rights. It's interesting coming from my background and being in the United States Air Force, where I witnessed women be afforded certain opportunities and men be afforded certain opportunities. It was very different. And that's in a country that promotes, one would assume, gender equality. And yet there are still gender pay gaps. I am still having to fight to share who I am, to speak out. I have been turned down on jobs. I have actually applied for positions and jobs where my level of academia and what I could do for that organization topped who they hired. But due to the fact that I was a woman, I was turned down from that job. We talk about women empowerment because we are still facing issues that stem from whether it's what we look like, what we wear, they're going to be a liability. There's so much that we are still battling in society that we talk about women empowerment to ensure these conversations are had. Women are turned down on jobs because they have children, because they're pregnant, because they might get pregnant and have a child. We see this play out in real time. And so I would encourage anyone who questions why we still speak about women empowerment to do the research and to look at the numbers and the statistics and what women are facing. Now, again, I am not here to lead and spew on a feminist movement. I'm here to talk about how we can ensure women feel empowered in the workplace, to ensure that women feel that they have a voice, to ensure that women are afforded the educational opportunities that their counterparts are afforded. If these things were not happening, if we weren't facing these issues still in 2020, we wouldn't be having these conversations. So they are needed, and I will continue to speak out to ensure that we don't reverse the progress. I've witnessed, due to, and maybe some of you remember the #MeToo movement, we actually went backwards for women's rights due to that movement alone. There were many articles that were written from, whether it's, on the streets of New York, across the globe, that where men came out and said, we don't want to hire women because that's a liability, and we don't want to deal with the #MeToo movement. And so we have to continue these conversations to ensure that women do feel empowered to speak out, to get gainful employment, and to be afforded the same opportunities that men are afforded. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That's a sad thing to hear that you were turned down from a position since you were a woman. Moving on to the next question, it is from Achal. Is there any difference between feminism and women empowerment?
Yes. Yes, there absolutely is a difference. And I would encourage you to look up the differences on feminism and women empowerment. I am not a feminist. I believe in women empowerment. I believe, again, in empowering not just each of us, but that empowerment will allow for our future generation to succeed. Women empowerment is about affording the same opportunities again to women as men. I don't believe that we should get those opportunities ahead of men. I don't want to be a metric. I don't want to be hired simply because I am a woman. But I also don't want to not have the opportunity simply because I am a woman. So women empowerment, again, this goes back to, there are 750 million women and girls that are married before the ages of 18 across the globe. More than 100 countries have taken action to track these budget allocations for gender equality. What does that mean? We see the statistics, we see the numbers. When women have made important inroads into political office and national parliaments only represented by 23.7%. Again, it's not about the numbers, but we must look at women empowerment from a social means, from an educational standpoint, an economic standpoint, political, and psychological. Women and men are different. We are also, again, different due to how we are raised. This is global. When women empowerment is the mission has to even go to us as women, because one of the number one showstoppers oftentimes with women is another woman. And we, even within each other, we have to ensure that we are empowering one another. That doesn't mean empowering one another for a role that we shouldn't be in. Women empowerment is about ensuring that we are afforded those opportunities, again, from a social, educational, economic, political, and psychological means. So please continue to do the research and look at the difference between feminism and women empowerment, because the two are extremely separate. Thank you.
Sure, ma'am. I hope they will get the difference very soon. The next question lined up is, can you share your thoughts for all the women leading in front in the corporate world from your experience in the armed forces?
Absolutely. I love this question. My thoughts for all women leading in front in the corporate world, from my military experience, I learned very, very, very valuable lessons. I have a joke that I typically will share. I was deployed many times for Operation Iraqi and in Operation Iraqi Freedom. And when I look at those deployments in the battlefield of war, I will tell you, as a woman, you can lose the nature of who you are. I chose to serve in the United States military to serve my country. I believe in service. Now I continue as a CEO in serving the globe, in whatever opportunity that comes my way. I believe in service. But I used to say on my military deployments that if I was going to die in war, I was going to die with pink lipstick on. Now, I say that because I love being a woman. I believe that being a caretaker, having a nurturing heart, sympathy, empathy, being able to relate, being able to bring people together, these are gifts that I believe can come naturally for women. And they're beautiful gifts. I see many women lose the nature of who they are as women. I witness women trying to have more masculine traits. I've witnessed women think that they have to be more firm and hard and when you can just be. This comes for all of us. This message rings true for all of us. Know yourself so well that nothing shakes the core of who you are. Be true to your nature. And in being true to who you are, you will find success within your own right. Being honest and true to oneself allows you to grow within an organization, allows you to take others on a journey with you. When you're trying to be something that you're not, it shows. And I think those leadership lessons of, I decided very early on at a very young age that I was going to be who I am. That was a choice. And it was hard. I was in a career field surrounded by very strong men. But I was determined to be who I was. And now the world knows when they meet me that you're probably going to get a hug, that I'm going to show a mutual level of love and respect, because that's who I am. I've met the needs. So as a leader, I would share in the military, we're constantly learning. There's always something new. The military culture is very fast paced. And what that has done now, we faced a global pandemic. And as a leader, due to my military experience, I've been able to share the principles of adaptability, of resiliency, of continuing to move forward, of taking one day at a time. We're all faced with uncertainty right now. All of us. There is beauty in being able to come together, whether even through fear. So if all of us are afraid, all of us have faced fear, the beauty is that now we can come together and say, I'm scared too, and lift each other up and join hand in hand. I believe what the military leadership skills have allowed me to take an organization and rise above a pandemic, to continue moving strong, to continue moving forward. And I hope that those women that are out there that are leading, I would ask you to be true to the nature of who you are, to not be afraid to share, to not be afraid to be kind. Maybe it's okay to be soft and gentle and loving, and again, the true nature of many women. That is a strength. That is not a weakness. So don't ever think that the core of who you are is weak. Allow it to be your strength. Rise to meet it's your needs, because if you're constantly stopping who you naturally are, you're not going to be an effective leader. You're always going to be looking at someone else or trying to be like someone else. And that's not leading. Now, through growth, through one's ability to learn, I'll leave with this. I'm a doctoral candidate. I'm continuously trying to learn and to grow. But I'm also at the same time simultaneously strong in who I am. With life lessons, with growth, allows us to continue to share this with the world. And again, there's so much beauty in that. So be true to who you are and simultaneously willing to grow and to learn. Because we are now, due to this pandemic on a global scale, learning something new in real time every single day. Thank you. Great question.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. That indeed was a message for all the women out here. And one final message from your side.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see that. If you have to give one message to the participants, what would it be? That I would ask that sharing stories and shaping minds, going back to the theme of this year's conference, sharing stories and shaping minds. Don't be afraid to share your story. Don't be afraid to share who you are. Don't be afraid to share the failures. Don't be afraid to share the successes. May we join arm in arm during the failures. May you lift another up during the failures. And may we allow that to be a success. May we all join arm in arm and celebrate the successes with one another, to applaud another. And yes, we've talked today about women empowerment. The comical part is women empowerment leads to empowerment for all. You see, we have children. There's a future generation. And so empowering one is allowing you to empower another. Empowering one is allowing that one to empower another. How you're treated is how you will treat another. And so I am so thankful for all of you that have joined today. This conference is extremely inspiring and motivating. And I would ask that we all, as we all leave today, to share our stories. If you're on social media, if you're any platform that you use, to tag us, to share these stories so that we can continue throughout the rest of this year to shape minds. Thank you all so much for your time this evening, this morning, wherever you are on the globe. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, information to all our viewers. There's a feedback form which has been circulated in the live chat. So please fill the feedback form. It will be very helpful for our student branch.
On behalf of IEEE ADIT Student Branch, we would like to present a virtual memento to ma'am for sharing her thoughts on this occasion.
5 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your valuable time and joining us. Also, for any further question, the participants may reach out to ma'am on our social media handles. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, to the participants, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to IEEE ADIT SB channel and ADIT CVM University for more such exciting and amazing events. Well, the flight of Inspiro 2020 took us to places where knowledge was imparted through the means of fun, interaction, and most importantly, experience. As we are nearing the end of this spectacular event, we would like to quote something.
Ends are not the bad things. They just mean that something else is about to begin. And there are many things that don't really end. Anyway, they just begin in a new way.
In the same way, we wish that our viewers will all get charged up to begin their endeavors again in a new way from the knowledge gained in the past 3 days.
To land the flight of Inspiro 2020, we have a closing ceremony which will start shortly. So do not go anywhere, we'll be right back.